Hey there, future drafters. I know you're probably getting ready for that big interview. And we are here to help you totally ace it. We're going to be doing a deep dive into some common drafting interview questions, and we're using some great tips from Indeed.com. But we're not going to just memorize a bunch of answers. We're going to figure out what these questions are really trying to tell us about what you need to know to really shine in this field.
It is really fascinating how much you can learn from these questions, even beyond the technical stuff. It's almost like employers are trying to see how you solve problems and how you face those challenges, and even trying to see how passionate you are about design and construction.
So it's not just about knowing the software, it's about having that drive and creativity to make an impact.
Exactly. Now, one of the first things they'll probably ask you about is your experience with CAD software. You might want to just list off every program you've ever used, but there's a better way to answer.
Okay, so what's the real question they're asking?
They're looking for someone who is adaptable. The software that's out there is always changing. They want to see that you're not just good at what you already know, but that you're excited to learn new programs too.
So instead of just saying that I know AutoCAD or SketchUp, SolidWorks, or Revit, I should talk about how quickly I can learn new software.
Exactly. Imagine you tell them about a time you had to learn a new program super fast. Maybe you even taught yourself a program because you thought it would help your team.
That shows that you take initiative. It's like saying, give me any software and I'll learn it.
Right. And showing that you care about the newest trends is a big plus too. If you mention that you read blogs and subscribe to newsletters, or go to webinars that can make you stand out.
So it's about knowing the tools,
Yeah.
but also loving the work and wanting to keep learning.
Absolutely. Now let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about precision. Drafting is all about accuracy. You're creating blueprints for huge projects, and there's no room for errors.
Yeah, every measurement has to be perfect. So when they ask about accuracy, what are they really asking? Do they think that I've never made a mistake?
Of course, everyone makes mistakes. They want to see that you have a process for checking your work.
So instead of just saying, I'm detail-oriented, I could talk about checking my work twice. Or maybe talk about using the error detection features in the software.
Exactly. You want to think about using those features to catch any problems before they get too big.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about showing them that I use every tool I have to make sure things are accurate.
And remember that story on Indeed.com about the small measurement error.
Oh, yeah, where the drafter caught the mistake early on and learned a lesson from it.
Exactly. It's not about never making a mistake. It's about having a process to catch mistakes and to stop them from happening again.
It's about taking responsibility and always trying to do better. Okay, so we've talked about technical skills and precision. What else do they want to know?
Well, no drafter works alone. Everyone needs to be able to work with others.
That's right. Drafting is all about working with other people. Architects, engineers, clients.
Exactly. And Indeed.com also talked about how important it is to work together.
They also said that there are often questions about how to deal with disagreements. When you have so many people working together, you're bound to have some arguments. So how do I answer that question?
The key is to think about the conflict as a chance to find a solution that works for everyone. Instead of getting defensive or blaming people, try to understand why they feel the way they do.
Indeed.com gave an example about a conflict about who was doing which task, and the answer showed how important it is to talk clearly and be willing to compromise.
That's a great point. It's about moving the project forward.
And that's a good skill to have in any job.
Absolutely. Being able to work together, even when you disagree, is important for any professional. But let's not forget, while technical skills and teamwork are important, interviewers also want to see your passion.
Oh, yeah. If you're just going through the motions, you won't be as creative.
Exactly. When they ask, what drives you in drafting? They want to hear about your love for what you do.
It's contagious too, right? If you love your job, everyone can tell.
Absolutely. And that enthusiasm can really help in an interview.
You know, one question that I think is a great opportunity to talk about yourself is when they ask, what project are you most proud of?
It really is a good chance to show them how your work made a difference. Think about it like you're telling a story. You can show off how your skills made something real.
So like instead of just saying, I worked on this apartment building, I should talk about how my drawings made that building happen. Maybe even mention if it became a popular place in the neighborhood.
Exactly. And it can really help to think about the company you're interviewing with. Indeed.com had that example about the person who worked on that eco-friendly building. If you're interviewing at a company that's all about sustainability, that's the project you should talk about.
So it's like saying, I get what you do and I know how my skills can help you.
That's right. And don't be afraid to get into the details. Did your designs help the building use less energy? Did you use any special materials? Those little things can help you stand out.
That's a good point. It's like I need to do my research on the company, look at what they've done, and read their mission statement.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about something a little less exciting, but still important. Deadlines.
Ugh, deadlines. It feels like every design job has a ton of deadlines. How do I tell the interviewers that I can handle it?
It's all about showing them that you're organized and good at talking to people. Think about how you get things done.
So instead of just saying, I'm good at meeting deadlines, I should talk about using project management software and to-do lists. Maybe even talk about breaking down big tasks into smaller ones.
Exactly. And don't forget about talking to people. What happens if a deadline needs to change? Do you let everyone know? Being proactive with communication shows that you're on top of things.
It's like you're the conductor of an orchestra. You're making sure everyone is working together.
That's a perfect way to think about it. A good drafter is like a conductor. They make sure everything comes together perfectly.
Okay, so we talked about technical skills, precision, teamwork, passion, and deadlines. Now for the question that everyone hates, why should we hire you?
Ah, that's the tough one. But it doesn't have to be scary. It's your chance to tell them why you're the perfect person for this job.
Indeed. .com mentioned talking about your CAD skills, your attention to detail, how you work on a team, and how you're always learning new things. But I can't just read off my resume, right?
That's right. You need to show them how your skills match the company's needs. What are you really good at that will help them?
So if the company really cares about new designs, I could talk about how I'm always trying to find new ways to use software.
Exactly. Or if they're known for helping the community. You could talk about how you love designing spaces that make people's lives better.
So it's about showing that I really want to work at this company.
Exactly. It's about showing them that you're not just a good drafter. You're someone who can help them succeed.
This has been so helpful. I used to think of interviews as these scary tests, but now I see them as a chance to meet people who love the same things I do.
I love that. And you know, the best interviews feel like you're working together. You and the interviewer are both trying to see if you're a good match.
Like we're putting together a puzzle. If our pieces fit, great. And if not, at least we learned something.
And even if the questions change from one interview to the next, the stuff we've talked about today is always important.
So being adaptable, precise, a team player, and passionate. Those are the things I need to be a great drafter.
Absolutely. Those are the things that will help you no matter what you're designing. And you know what? Those skills are helpful in other parts of life too.
That's true. Being able to communicate, solve problems, and work together, those are good skills for anything.
The world needs more people who can think for themselves and who can work together to make your ideas happen.
I think what I've learned today is that drafting isn't just about technical skills. It's about doing something that makes a difference.
Exactly. Everything you draw, every detail you work on, it all has the potential to change something. You're creating the plans for how people live and work.
So for anyone out there thinking about being a drafter, don't be scared of those interviews.
Remember, the world needs your ideas. You got this. And you know what else? Those skills can really help you in your personal life too. Think about it. Being able to listen to other people and understand their point of view, that's important in any relationship.
You're right. It's like all these skills we're talking about, they're not just for drafting, they're for life.
Exactly. And those skills can help you build anything. A career, a house, a family, anything you set your mind to.
I love that. You know, before we started this deep dive, I was a little nervous about job interviews, but now I'm actually kind of excited.
That's great. And I think that's the best way to approach any interview, with enthusiasm and a willingness to learn.
And I think the most important thing I've learned today is that being a drafter is about so much more than just knowing the software. It's about using your skills to make a real difference in the world.
That's a great way to put it. You're not just drawing lines on a computer. You're creating the spaces where people live and work and play. And that's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. So to all those future drafters out there listening, remember to be yourself, show your passion, and don't be afraid to dream big. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be designing the next big landmark in your city.
And we'll be here to cheer you on every step of the way.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time on the Deep Dive.